Okay, so here we are. We're going to do the last part up front here. And like I said, I want it to be a little more yellow, just so you can maybe get a good idea of the different colors here. So this is kind of a raw amber color. It gets into a little green, a lot of green going down in through here, but it's all nice and blended. And I'll try and get that photograph on the video here. And then we'll do this last piece here. Now, I want to be careful because I don't want the rock. I'm going to add some rocks in front of this, so I don't want to get too much in close. But I do want to get it into this area, and I don't want to get it on the rocks per se. So I'm making sure that I don't get it on the glue on the rocks. That way anything that gets on there will just float away. Now I don't want to use just a pure color. So even though I want to use that yellow there, I want to mix some of my colors together. So I'm going to put mostly this yellow. And it's not going to take much to do this area here. So I'm going to put mostly the yellow in there. Now if I was going to do a wheat field, combines and things like that, they cut it all evenly at the same height. So if you're going to do something like that, you want to do it. Now, in that case, you may want to take maybe some and make some lines. It's really hard because they got to be close together, or just you want to make sure that the wheat field is completely covered and all uniform. That's a situation where you wouldn't want to do it uniform because that's what it would do. And we put a little of that in there. Well, it looks pretty good. Maybe a little more. There we go. And kind of mix it up some. And I'm going to turn it over here so I can work with it. I'll show you what it looks like when we get done here. Alrighty. Here we go. Most of it kind of fell off to the side there. So we're gonna pack some of it back in there again, and we'll just keep doing this till we get what we want. Not a race. We don't have to get it right the first time. There we go. Right. There we go. Now, I'm gonna show you some tricks while that's drying. I'm going to show you some tricks if you want to change some of this a little bit. And it's not as complicated as you seem. I'm going to grab a couple items that I'll need, and then we'll be back, and I'll show you this while this is drying. And we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so let's say you look at this and you go, well, it's not exactly what I wanted. I want a little different color. I want to blend a little more, something like that. Swab, hairspray. Cheapest, strongest hairspray you can find. That's what you want. I get Suave here. I pay like $2 for the bottle. For the can, I go in there, I buy 5 at a time. Believe me, I turn heads when I buy them. But what you want to do, let's say we want to work in this area in here and we want to just change the color a bit. Here's how you do it. You simply decide what you want to do. So in this case, we're going to say, well, we want to add a little more yellow. So we're going to set this up, and I'm going to put pure yellow in this time so you can see. And I'm going to take my paper out. Okay, then I'm going to take my hairspray and I am going to soak this. It'll smell like a salon when I get done. Okay, now turn this on, set myself up. There you go. Added more yellow. And it's actually standing up, and it's a little taller. I can do the same if I want to add, say, some brown 2mm. Do the same thing. I can add this additional brown, this 2mm, and it's going to stand on top of what's already there. Same area here. Turn it on. It's still wet. And I can add the brown now. And let's say that I want to see it's already added a little brown. Let's say I want to add some on top of what's already there. There's nothing wrong with building this up with layers. So I can turn around and go back in again and get a little more of a layer on top of that. I'm out, that's why. There you go. See? Now it's a little browner. There you go. That's all you need to do to add more. You can do the same with any color you want to. So you can add more to that and build onto it. So I'm going to bring it up closer. Now, it will make the grass thicker there, but that's not the worst situation that you could run into. See, that looks kind of nice. And if you were to take a nice look at it from this direction, you can see there's all different types of sizes in there as it builds up in there. And that creates that look, that texture, that change. And again, you can go right into this. So let's say I decide, well, I want it to lay down a little more. So I can just go right in like this and lay it down. And now it's laid there. I got a little patches here that are kind of laid down. That's fine. It works just fine that way. Now, I know right away you're saying, but Mike, as soon as it gets wet with water, you're thinking, oh, that hairspray is going to give out. Well, you probably would if you were to really soak it, but the last thing I like to do, and when this is all dry, I'll do it. I find that when you take photographs of this, if you ever notice, it looks kind of shiny. And I got I've done it before, but I've never really tried it with a big area like this, where I've come back in with simple lacquer, a clear lacquer, a dull clear lacquer, and just spray the whole thing. That lacquer is going to dry right on there. It's not going to disturb that glue. It'll dry and harden up, and it won't give up. But again, you can still do those type of things and add to it. Now, one of the other things that you would do to this, which we will get here pretty soon, we're going to add a little gravel in front of here, a little riprap and all that kind of stuff, and we'll add a few bushes here in a minute. We've got to let this dry, all that hairspray and everything, let it dry so you can see what it turns out to be. So it looks really interesting. You have a real heavy grass area, and you come over here, you got this kind of bare area in here. It's a little more greener on this side, where it's a little browner on this side. This is really kind of bare and almost yellow. This is probably the brighter of the yellows because I got all that built on top of and built on top, and that creates that look. And it just looks nice overall. So when using static grass, the secret is mix, blend, combinations. Get it to look exactly like real grass. And don't be afraid to experiment. You know, if you made a mistake on this and it didn't work, it's not the end of the world. You can just spray it with water, and then vacuum it up with my vacuum cleaner, and I might lose the static grass, but that's about the end of it, and then I'll start over again and do it again. So it's not that hard. So till next time, when we start working on the rest of the detailing on this and put a little more into it, you have yourself a good day and happy